This is my home. This is me. I'm giving you all of this. So if you're not familiar with SikaaTalks, I'm going to give you a breakdown of what it is and who I am. So, as I started, I am Aku Sika, and I'm bringing you SikaaTalks. SikaaTalks, what is SikaaTalks? SikaaTalks is a lifestyle. SikaaTalks is a platform. SikaaTalks is a safe space. SikaaTalks is a place where I'm going to be bringing you real life stories. So it doesn't matter. Money, sex, relationship, real life shit. That's what we're going to be talking about. And yes, it is going to be rated R. So if you're sensitive, if you're a child, please have your parents' consent before you watch this. But what are we doing here today? Today is a special day. I'm bringing you an episode. This is actually SikaaTalks' first live episode. You can find SikaaTalks podcast on Apple Podcast, Anchor FM, and Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more platforms. But today we are here on YouTube. So the episode today is actually entitled The Power in Us, Queen's Edition. The Power in Us is a series that I started on the audio platform, which is about Black lives within the Black community. So what I'm doing with these discussions is having discussions with Black people within the Black community and having a conversation about how they're handled, how they feel within their own community. As we're fighting for Black lives, we need to remember how we treat each other. Because if we have issues within our own, how can we fight for each other? We have to make sure that our fight includes each and every one of us. And this is what I'm doing here with these discussions. So feel free to listen to the first, second, and third, and fourth edition on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor FM. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Waverly Rose. I work in a lab and I model. You can follow me on Instagram at Waverly Rose.
Hi everyone, my name is Belanda. I'm currently a student. You can follow me on Instagram at Belanda Kalemba.
Hi, my name is Kaylis Cuevas. I work for the state and I do YouTube where I talk about makeup and personal growth.
So now we're gonna get into the real diggity shit. Meaning I'm gonna be asking them questions and we're gonna have a discussion about being colored women in America, being colored women in our job, being colored women on the street, all of that. That's what we're talking about today. So let's get into it, ladies. So ladies, let's talk about your favorite thing about being a woman.
Everything. I feel the power of being a woman, even like the sexuality in being a woman, and just you give birth, you create life. Everything starts with a woman, and they're just magical beings.
I feel the same way actually. I feel like there's a lot of strength in womanhood. There's really nothing like a woman leader. Our insight, our instinct, and our intuition, like you said, bearing children kind of are at the beginning of time. So, yeah.
Power to the punani.
Right. I completely agree with you too. Like being a woman is so powerful. I would never want to be a man except on some days.
1 week.
Right. So women can do everything men can do and better. So I would never want to be anything else. Like, women are so powerful and amazing.
That's true. Women's out there. Y'all powerful. Do not let anybody tell you different, regardless of what you look like. Okay. Okay, so moving on. Which communities do you belong to? So that includes race, culture, if there's a certain path you're taking, which communities? So like for me, I can say that I am a scholar since I'm educated. I represent the African culture as well as an African woman from Ghana. Yes, so, and being a creative, doing this and everything else, being a dancer, whatever, all goes into being a creative. So what would you say, which communities do you belong to?
Yeah, definitely educated. I'm also educated women in health. Definitely represent women in health and hospitals and stuff like that. I'm a Congolese woman. I'm from Congo. Definitely represent the African community in all parts. And also creative, working on a YouTube channel and more.
Yes. Can't wait.
Yeah. So I definitely also identify myself as a scholar. And I'm African American, born here. And although I do know my heritage of being American Indian, Tanzanian, and yeah, also a woman in health and healthcare and science and STEMs. And yeah, those are the places that represent me.
So I'm Dominican, I'm Afro-Latina, so I can identify with a lot of cultures, Hispanic and Black and every side of it. I really identify as a scholar. I went to school, but definitely more than that, a creative. I do YouTube too.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and just as a powerful woman, a sister to others as well.
Okay, so next question is, what is your line of work or your career goal?
I work for the state of Connecticut in health and human resources, so I am a people's person, and that's my line of work as of right now.
Yeah, so I work in a lab and also at a hospital, tumor research, artificial intelligence, and neuro-oncology. And also I'm kind of I realize that I'm juggling 2 careers right now. Because I've got this scholastic career in science and healthcare, then I also know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
You can
face.
be more than one thing.
Face.
Face,
The beauty and the brain.
Yeah, so I'm juggling the 2 and I'm trying to learn what does that look like, what is efficient in doing those 2 things, and how can I find happiness in that balance, because that's really all I want at the end of the day with my career.
I'm a student mainly. I work at the university that I go to. But my career goal is being a certified registered nurse anesthetist. So I'm in the process of that. I got a few more years. And also creative, and I model occasionally as well.
Every day.
Mostly a creative.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm just gonna throw myself out. What do I do? So, as I was saying, I have a 9 to 5, because gotta pay the bills.
We all
But my I have so much things that I want to accomplish in my head that I pray and hope God sees me through so I can manifest it. Because with SikaaTalks, so SikaaTalks, I said, is a platform where I want to talk about real life stories and all kind of stuff. But I also want to represent SikaaTalks as a place where I can teach kids how to invest in themselves. I want to be out. My main goal is going back to Ghana and help out, make it what it's supposed to be, what it can be in all aspects of life. And mainly I also want to dibble and dabble into politics, because I know it's not a fair game, especially me being a woman. But I definitely want to dabble into that. Hence my master's degree in public administration, and also want to help in the social work aspect, because as we know in Africa, mental illness, mental health is not really a big thing. It's now starting. It's not dribbling, out on the edges, but we want to make it big, so we could all tap into that. So that's where I see myself. That's what I want to do. So
Yes.
Manifest it.
Manifest it right now.
Tell the universe you got it. It's yours. It's
Yeah.
already yours.
thanks, guys. I make you cry. right. Tissues, please. Just kidding. Okay, so the next question is, how are women accepted in your fields? So there being the field that you're in right now, or the field that you see yourself being in the future?
The field that I see myself being in the future, there is mainly women, I would say. It's more looked at a woman field, like if you're a nurse, like people would normally think of a woman. And I'm okay with that. You know, I like the men being in the field, and of course it helps with the balance, but I definitely feel like women are perfect for the healthcare world.
Those are like natural caregivers.
Right,
So it's
right.
like,
I
even
believe
though
in
there's some
all
that
that.
are mean, it's okay.
Yeah, but I definitely appreciate the men in our field as well. We definitely need that great balance. It's definitely a good balance in the hospital and the healthcare field.
How are women accepted in the field?
Talk about it. Women in science, I know that is.
Well, the thing about science is that you present ideas and then you ask them to be accepted by someone else.
Okay.
So that foundation alone makes it, I think, inherently difficult for women, especially women of color. But, however, I think that women's inevitable ability to produce things that are worthwhile kind of makes it hard for people to discredit us. And kind of makes it hard for them to not need us and not utilize us.
Okay.
So it's kind of that, like, we know she's saying some good shit right now. We're gonna act like we didn't hear her and do it.
Okay.
You
Say it was my idea.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a great deal. But then I am just in awe of the women that I see right now in the field that I've had the honor and the pleasure of working under. And just, you know, their tenacity and their brilliance just shining through everything. So how are we treated? How are we accepted in the field? I think begrudgingly, but we are still very present and vocal indeed despite it, just because who runs the world?
Women!
Yeah, so yeah.
In the state, it's women are empowered. Like in my office, I know the main office where I work, all the managers are women. We even have a black woman. My manager is a black woman. So we're viewed very well, and because of the union, we have to have fairness throughout everywhere in the state. We can't just, which is good. Yeah, and is this what I have to talk about?
Yes.
So, in my job, it goes by quota. So it's good that women are represented, because sometimes it's just because we're trying to make a quota. Because we need like one woman, they're trying to show like, oh, we need this. It's not really by like,
But you can do.
it's not like, oh, we're gonna hire this because she has the education or she has the training or she's a good person as a supervisor or manager. It's just trying to fill quotas. But they're really great. Oh my God, they're such huge role models, especially my manager. I don't know about anybody else's manager in my job, and she's absolutely amazing. And where in the world I want to go into, like I do have a YouTube channel, and I see that being that is my full-time job.
Yes.
That's it. Period.
Talk about
What
it.
makes you happy? That's it.
Talk about it.
And it's just sad how like I want to go into the beauty community, and it's looked very as problematic, but it's not really the women causing the problems. It's usually like the men above, like the Jeffree Stars, or you're saying, that give it a bad light, and it's so sad because it's not really the the women causing problems. It's really like men. But I don't know, we can definitely change it up. And raise our voices and know that it's just not, we're not causing the problems. We're not the problem, and we're really coming together as a community just by this. This is so beautiful. And just showing this that women, we're really together. We're not trying to tear each other apart.
Yeah.
We're not, and we need to show that. And that's in my line of work.
And you brought up a good point, because with the audio ones, like the audio parts of like the Power in Us series. With the men, I did it audio, but with the women, I wanted to showcase women sitting down together, women with differences and still sitting down together. Because most of the time, you don't see women that don't have anything in common or have never met each other just sitting down. They have a friend in common, or oh, we're going to this girl's birthday party, or that's your friend, but that's not my friend. I just know Waverly Rose, and that's where I'm going. But Kay could come, you know. But I just wanted to be able to bring different women together and have a conversation about how we are represented in like as women in general.
So it's really beautiful. Like things like this is really needed. You know, it needs to happen way more often. So.
Agreed.
Yeah, to showcase what really happens, because I don't know, this is me in my personal life. I never hate on another woman. Like, you know that drunk girlfriend you meet in the bathroom? I feel like that's just, I'm like that. Like, I'm so nice, but that's how I am. And I feel like a lot of women are like that.
They
but
really are.
we're portrayed so negatively. Like, we're trying, it's like 1% of women that are like that. Like, I don't care. I met you one time, if I see you, I'll be like, hey, girl, how are you? Like, that's just how and I feel like most of us are like that.
I feel like when a lot of people think about women, they're like, oh no, she's mean, she's standoffish, I don't want to talk to her.
Exactly.
But it's like when you experience real life and you actually talk to another woman or something, you will most likely never get that. No one would ever be like, oh no, get away from me, like don't touch me. Like nobody would be like that.
I've never experienced
I've never
because it's just
experienced
like I don't know, like that's the question I ask every time, everything I'm like, so who is society? Who are the people we talk about when people get on like these social media platforms, like Twitter? Like I saw this tweet the other day, I was like, oh, bitches be so stuck up when you ask them where they get their clothes and they don't even want to tell you that. I'm like,
tell you.
Unless I forget, it's like this, I don't know. Wait, where did I get this from? I would think about it, I'll let you know, because it's like the day, like, you are you and not me. You're not gonna rock it the way I'm gonna rock it, exactly. But this is you, so get it. Do what you gotta do. I will comment on like, yes, girl, I see you. Like, I never get it. So I always ask the question, so who is society? And someone's like, well, it's us. I was like, well, when they're saying black women are angry, black women are da da da, I didn't vote, so that's not me.
Right,
I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that. Who did that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
It's
Exactly.
like a negative image they're trying to portray of us women to tear us apart, because when we come together, that's why they're trying to tear us apart. They don't want that, so they put that image out
exactly what it
there.
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're here.
That's over here. Okay. So next point. So, who are your inspirations?
Okay, my inspirations, obviously, are the women in my life. Like my mother, she's been through so much, and she raised me, and I'm okay. I'm alive. And she did such a great job. My sister, she has 2 devil children, and her heart, she's amazing. And obviously, like who I look up to, I love Rihanna.
Have you guys seen the show?
Yes, I
did not.
I cried.
Oh my
I
gosh.
cried.
I have to
watch it.
I have to. It just came out yesterday. I need to.
I'll give you my password. You have to watch it. I cried.
I need to sit down and watch it because for me, I'm taking notes, honey.
Listen.
What? I cried.
I'm taking notes.
It's just the representation. I
yes.
saw Rosalia. She's a Hispanic woman. She's on this huge platform, and I cried because I was like, yo, if she can do it, I can do it. You saw this big curvaceous model. You're like, yo, if she's up there, I can be up there. And Rihanna did
She's
that.
changing the game.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Top right now.
And it's just like,
She's
she's a freaking powerhouse, and I love that.
She really
She's
is.
changing. I love her. I
should.
want to be her. I want to be her when I grow up. That's it.
Riri, if you're watching this, okay? I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying.
That's it, Rihanna. I don't even have to explain. That's it. That's my Rihanna.
Rihanna,
You already know. That's it. You already know. That's it.
Period.
Watch the show.
For me, my inspirations, definitely my mother. Definitely my mother. When I look back and I like kind of think about some of the things that we went through as a family growing up, I realized how much strength it took to raise 3 children on your own, and like we had a good life.
I never noticed this from him.
Like I didn't notice how much we were struggling until now that I'm older and I'm realizing, how did you do this? Because I'm just right now taking care of myself and my dog, okay? And I love my dog. But like, you know, I just realized how many moving parts there really are to a household, to maintaining the emotional state of another being, and being responsible for that. So honestly, my mom, she's got it. Like she did that. She did that. She definitely made me the woman I am today. So yeah, that's my inspiration.
So we really basically took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
I can repeat everything you said, but not as good. So yeah, I definitely agree. My mom is definitely my biggest role model, and honestly, all the women in my life and other mothers too. Like just the way I see other mothers do everything, it's just like wow, you know, can't wait to be a mother. Wow, like women are amazing. Literally, I see that every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just thinking about it the other day. Like I've never felt the struggle, and I know we struggled, but never ever felt it. So if I can think of like, can I do something like that? Like, could I ever like nurture and take care of someone like that? It seems impossible, but you can do it. Like it's really possible because you're a woman and women are powerful. So.
Okay. So like personally, I wasn't like raised by my mother, but I was raised by like a lot of different women, and like I'm a girl's dad. No, I'm not a girl's dad. I'm a
Daddy's girl.
daddy's girl. I'm a daddy's girl. So it's just like my dad is like my superhero. Like my dad is like my everything. So yeah, like I didn't get to know my mom until I was like 15, 16. But even through that, like I know she still had to like go through this, like from like the conversation we had, like unhealthy relationships, all that kind of stuff she's gone through. So it's just like she's still like a rock in my life. But like when it comes to like inspirations, who did I look up to as a little girl? Like, oh, I want to be like that. It was mostly men, like men like Kofi Annan. Like my dad drilled him into my head. Like, you're gonna be the next Kofi Annan. Yes, you're gonna be the UN. But my girl was like, okay, dad. Okay, sure. That's what I'm gonna do. Like this, like that. And like Nelson Mandela too was like a really big person in our family. Like. And I was so sad when he died. I felt like it was somebody close because it's like those are people. Like even when Kofi Annan passed, I was like, fudge bucket. These are people I wanted to meet, be able to like meet, sit down, have a conversation with, talk. But that didn't happen. But you know, I still follow your legacy and stuff. It's okay.
Yes.
But yeah, just like some of the inspiration that I grew as a little girl looking up. But now it's just like you see more and more women, and like especially like in the media field, like me doing what I'm doing, like look up as people as Oprah, like just like wow.
Oprah.
Oh
Yes. Super Soul Summer.
We love you, Oprah. We really do.
We appreciate
We
it.
really love you.
Oprah been out there. She was like
Oprah!
and she's still dead.
Listen, when I watch a talk by Oprah, I have a pen and paper.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Period. Because she just did that. She every time.
So
I
it's
love
like
Oprah.
these are people that walk so I could run, you know. So it's like
Yes.
it's amazing. I love to be.
Like I can't. I really can't.
So I can't wait to be that person to others, you know. Like oh my God, SikaaTalks, you know Uncle Sika, yeah. It's like yes, can't wait.
Yes.
So we're there.
It's already here, girl.
Yeah, you already know it. Just buy this.
Right here.
This
Yes.
is the beginning.
Yeah.
Coming for you, world coming.
Yes.
So next question: would you call yourself a feminist? Yes or no?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I'd say yes.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes. Okay. So with that being said, I feel like nowadays there's like a strong, like I don't know what to call it, but there's a strong thing about feminists being against men. Like feminists are just pro woman, F men, F men, F men. Which I don't like. It's like, how did we get there? Because to me, being a feminist or like embracing like, because feminists come from the word feminine, feminicity, whatever it is. Cut that out. On the words. But feminine. So it's like it's all about empowering the woman. Because women, as we all know, like as much as we are powerful, that's not how the world as a big envelope looks at us. So it's like we have to empower ourselves to be able to feel the empowerment from others. Because if your house is not strong, your foundation is not strong within yourself, then on the outside it's gonna look crazy.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what like being a feminist is. Like, what about you guys? Your inputs?
I feel like feminism has gotten a bad rep because I think there's a spectrum.
Yes, definitely.
I think on this spectrum there are people who are a bit extreme sometimes, and I feel like with any movement, doesn't matter what movement it is, there are always going to be those people who are all the way on one side or all the way on the other. Most of the people fall within, the middle there.
Yeah.
But I think with feminism, I think that's pretty much, people enjoy really extreme things. People enjoy, they love it. It's like, I feel like that happens on social media.
Heal. Just yesterday on Twitter, there's this video going around, and it's this woman, and she's just like, I don't know what it is, but and like the caption was like, feminists are now waking up or something in that sense. And she was like, I don't know, like being the woman that I am now, being a feminist, like I just hate men. Like they don't have to do anything to me. I just hate them. Like I could just see a man walking down the street and just like, die. I was like,
no.
Who hurt you? Heal. Where's the button?
People don't know what the definition of being a feminist is. It's equality among the sexes. Equality with men, like fair wages. That's where it all started. And I feel like it got lost in translation. Like, girl, like you wouldn't be on this planet if it wasn't for a man. Like it takes two. That's it. We need men, and we're not saying like, oh, men go die because then we're all gonna die. Once we die, we can't keep the race going. And
exactly.
Women don't. Well, I guess she doesn't.
She
doesn't understand that, and it got lost in translation. And what people need to know is just equality within the sexes. Equality, men and women coming together. Like, you're not gonna get paid more than me for doing the same job, or I'm doing the job better. Or if you're doing the job better, okay, you get paid more than me, but it's just on an equal playing field.
Right, definitely.
And that was crazy. I didn't see that. Thank God I did.
Yeah.
Because I was so sad.
I was like,
I would have like, who hurt you, boo boo?
Sis.
Who hurt her? Someone hurt her. She got her heart broken.
That's what most people were saying on the TL.
Who
Like,
hurt
nah,
you?
this is not okay. Like, this is the type of woman that could just kill somebody. That could just kill a man just because she can. And like, that is.
I think one
mental
thing
illness
that is
for their-
really important for us to talk about though is anytime a woman is hurt, especially a black woman, we just talk about how angry she is. We don't talk about why she's angry. So yes, who hurt her? But let's talk about that pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to get you here?
Yeah.
Because I think that there is something really like worthy of noting about like men. We live in a patriarchal society.
We sure do.
And I think that that's kind of how, like, even though it's not the best thing, I think that might be why we do have so many women who are kind of radical, because the environment is conducive to that. You know, you get oppressed for so long and then you just kind of explode.
Just like the Black Lives Matter movement, as people are going in the streets and they're protesting, and some of the people are doing whatever they want to do. In the midst of everything, it's just like, why are you protesting? Why are you doing this? Why anger? Why are you violent? Da, da, da. When you oppress somebody for so long, they're gonna lash out.
It's
They're
almost
gonna,
natural.
everything is gonna pour out. But then again, heal.
Yes. Within reason.
And sometimes you just don't understand
Mhm.
someone else, but you know, you have to be empathetic, like try to be in their shoes. Like imagine if that was me, how would I feel?
True.
But a lot of people don't have that, so
Yeah.
of course they wouldn't be able to understand.
Yeah, which is true. Definitely.
Alright, so the next question I have is, do you have any privilege being the woman that you are?
I believe yes, I do have privilege. In many different aspects, I would say, I grew up with my father. That's definitely a privilege. I'm educated. That's definitely a privilege. I don't know. I just feel like women have a lot of privilege that we don't really acknowledge. But it's definitely prevalent, like in my life. I feel like.
Yeah. I like that answer a lot. Because I think something that you said kind of resonated with me. I think that we don't realize how much privilege that we have, and because we don't acknowledge it, we kind of lose out on it.
Yeah.
And we have to not do that. So like the education, family, I have a roof over my head, I have food in my belly, like those are all privileges. I've got my sanity.
That's something you don't,
You don't
realize that's an amazing thing.
Working in the healthcare field, you realize how many people are sick. They're really sick. People are really sick. And to have your health is such a blessing. So like those privileges, those are it.
Yeah. For me, it's like disgusting to say, but I feel like our world is very based on physical. So like obviously my skin color or like my hair texture or maybe my ethnicity brings me that privilege, which is disgusting. It really is, just because of the way you look doesn't make you better than someone else. But I don't know how to say it.
I think you're explaining it well.
You got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I know I see privilege within myself, and within my privilege, I can maybe like help shed light to other things, and still identify with things that maybe I'm not that privileged in, and then maybe humble myself, or other people can humble themselves. But yeah, I do have privilege of being educated. I came to this country. A lot of people in my country, I'm from DR, they have like a 5th grade education, and I was allowed and had the privilege. My mom came here and sacrificed everything for me to have an education, for me just being in America. Even though people right now are like, I hate America, I'm leaving this country, but it's a privilege to be in this country, because I know the American dream is kind of lost or whatever, but it is what you make out of it. And we have a huge privilege being in this country. And I know a lot of people, they don't even have like their papers, and they flee nasty places, like even worse than this with like drug cartels. And it's just a privilege just to be here. And like you said, appreciate your health. Like we are healthy. We are, like just look at your hands. Like I have 2 hands, and I have the choice to be happy. And that is a choice as well. And just grateful for every little thing you have.
So like for me, privilege, I think of being like an African woman, that is a privilege to the top notch, because like being African and being black, as like you said, like skin color, like shape, like embodiment, skin, everything. It's just like
People pay a lot of money for that.
listen,
Let me tell you.
y'all let me get up.
For all that.
No, but don't you think that's crazy though? Like
It really is.
they look like something.
Yeah.
And it's like we are the blueprint. Like,
Right.
us black women are the
Yeah.
blueprint. Regardless, like if you want to go deep into race or not,
Let's
black.
Let's go there.
We are the blueprint. Like everything you see, for like all the black men out there talking about, like we don't need black women anymore because the white women, I think,
They say
whatever.
Okay.
That's why I said,
saw
I don't
that. I saw something on social media There was somebody who went to, like, person to person and it was like white woman or black woman.
Oh yeah,
I saw
did
that.
you see that?
I
The
saw
little
that.
voice
I was just more. They were almost all of them said white women,
over
but
black.
their reasoning actually was more of because they don't have attitudes, and I
They
just
don't stand up for themselves.
okay.
Basically,
I'm
pushovers.
not gonna
That's
read
what you're
into it.
saying. You
But
like
what
No,
I-
no, no, no.
doormat. You
Look, I'm not gonna read into
You're
it.
like a doormat.
I'm just saying that I feel like I heard a lot of, oh, black women have attitudes. Oh, black.
Yeah.
Let me say this about myself. Okay, here's a mirror. Look in it. If you're somebody who I love, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. Period. Because I want you to go to the next level in life, and I want you to do the same for me. And if you can't handle that, then you're not for me. So go be with whoever you want to be with. But I feel like a lot of black women are like that. We will take you to the next level if you'll let us. But you have to be willing to be open to that type of love.
Exactly.
But if you are too insecure to receive that kind of love, then bye.
Here's the door. Don't let it hit you.
I feel like it's a little difficult. Like I feel like once men or whatever start feeling any inconvenience or like, oh, I have to try or oh, I have to think or oh, I have to do this, they like, oh,
They
like,
flee.
back
This
off
is
a
too
little bit.
much.
You know, this is too much. Like you're being too much for me. So
No, you're not being enough.
that's
what it is.
What you said before, that's crazy though. I didn't even see
I
that.
never seen
Yes,
that.
it was, and like most people were trying to say like, oh, but they're little boys, da da da. Okay.
But they're gonna grow up.
They're gonna grow up.
Yes, little boys,
Yeah.
but there's no men like that. There
Yeah.
are not men like that
Yes,
who
which
think
is-
that way. So
To me, it's not about like you have to like what you like,
right.
but
Correct.
don't like what you like and
It's
talk
fine.
down
Yeah.
to other things. I don't have any issue with a black man saying, oh, I appreciate Afro-Latina women. I will rather date a white woman. That's fine.
Everyone has
Yeah.
their
Shit,
No,
I like
I-
orange juice over apple juice. But that doesn't mean that like, oh, I'm gonna say, oh, apple juice is disgusting. Apple juice is that, da, da, da. No. They like what you like. That's the beauty of it all. Like liking what you like. That's what we have. We look
have that choice.
we all look
Yeah.
different, and like that's what's promoting the differences like within the world. But like, don't be dumb and bash the other because of
Right.
what you like.
On your insecurity.
Exactly.
You can't
It's
handle
all
it.
injection of their own insecurities.
That's
just
what it is.
Because I
Yes.
feel like
It's
strong
loud.
women, we tell you what it is, and then they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear what's wrong with you, but you need that. You need a queen to elevate yourself.
Right.
Because black women, like we're strong women, so we tell you how it is, so you can better yourself. Because men, you don't want to better. You don't want to better yourself.
I don't want anybody who can't better me back.
Thank you. Because
I
we
should
supposed
add
to
value
blend.
to my
Yes,
life.
yes.
You don't add value. Why are we here?
Exactly.
Period.
Thank
you.
That is all, folks.
Drops mic.
As we're talking, so next question is, what are your frustrations as black women? Throw them out here. I know y'all got some frustrations because I got a lot. Should I go?
Go
Go,
ahead,
girl.
girl.
Go.
Talk your shit.
My frustration as a black woman, I feel it starts from always having to like minimize myself when I step into a room for other people to be comfortable just because I don't want to be seen as too much. So I'm just gonna let that soak in a little bit.
Yeah, no, let it marinate.
It's just like, why? Why do I have to like, and it's like, I don't think this anyone is telling me to do so, it's just automatic. Just because of like the, what is the word I'm looking for?
Oppression?
Oh, no, like just like,
that you feel like
that too, and just like how black women are just portrayed. Like, I don't want to walk into a room, and it's sad and disgusting to like even think that way. Like, I don't want to be considered that way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that black.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that black girl. Even like if I have a meeting and I'm running late, I'm like, fuck, and I'm gonna be that black girl that was late. You know,
Yeah.
like whenever you like be in a different position, it's just like you always, no matter how deep in like how aligned you are with yourself or how good you are with yourself, you do those things just automatically, just because like they're engraved in you because of the society you're in. And
Yeah.
to me, it's just like it's frustrating because it's like, yo, why do I keep doing this? Why do I walk into a room and I feel like I have to like belittle myself just to make sure like I'm at the same level with everyone, and then like as soon as I see like the other sister talking, I'm like, oh hey girl, what's going on? You see them folks over there? Like, so that's a frustration because it's just like, why am I doing this? But it's like I'm conditioned to it. That's me frustrated.
Yeah, I found myself doing that in a couple of different workplaces because I'm from the South. Okay, so I don't know. I grew up getting all dressed up all the time, doing like, I'm sure other cultures do that too, but you know, if you go down south, if you're from the South, you're watching it, you already know. And I felt like at various places in my life, I had to like maybe not wear lipstick to work, or maybe not wear any makeup to work, or maybe put my hair back a little bit so that my hair wasn't super big. And I didn't realize I was doing that until after I did it. And I realized, after I realized that I did it, that I was getting the same treatment whether I was showing up as myself or showing up as a minimized version of myself for them. I was getting the same treatment. It was the same day at work. And that really frustrated me. For a long time, like when I came to that realization, I was really upset by that and just extremely frustrated. So I ultimately just was like, I'm just gonna be my fucking self.
Period. Take it or leave it.
Period. Every day, every way, because at the end of the day, this is my life and my experience, and I can't let anybody take that from me.
I can definitely agree with that, like in the workplace environment, that there's this gold standard, and the only gold standard is the Caucasian standard. You gotta kind of look like them, you gotta talk like them, like, you know, you gotta use your white voice when you're at work, like, oh my god, yeah,
There's a whole movie on that.
like, you have to, it's so sad, like, there's different people, so we're all gonna be represented in a different way, so why do I have to act like this so I can get the job? Like, when I applied to my job, I straightened my hair, like, my first day at work, I straightened my hair, I had to, like, talk, I had to be quiet, I had to be little, because I think that's just the conditioning, that the white way is the right way, and the only way, which is not. We need to come up and show ourselves our authentic self. So we're here, and this is how we talk, this is how we express ourselves. We don't gotta be like you, act like you to be accepted. Like, oh, you're Hispanic, or like I heard that a lot. Like, oh, you're black, so why do you talk white? Or like, why are you so well educated?
Even
like,
with that being said,
even
within
that's just how I talk.
within our own communities, like we have like the whole synopsis of like being an Oreo. Like if you went to prep school, or you went to like a Catholic school or whatever, like, yes, you're conditioned the way they teach you. Like you're gonna pick up their languages, you're gonna pick up everything. But that doesn't mean like a person is posing white because they're articulated. Like no,
like
that's
when I
how.
started my job, they said I was Hispanic. When I told them I was Hispanic, because I don't have an accent. Like, I'm supposed to show up everywhere like Sofia Vergara. Like, no, I don't have an accent because that's just how it is.
Is her accent fake?
No, it's real. I think it's real. I don't know. But I don't have
I think it's fake. I think she does it for
I
TV.
think we're-
Regardless, I love her regardless, but I think it was, I don't know.
That just doesn't make me less Hispanic because I don't have an accent. Like,
Yes.
I can curse you out in both language. Don't test me. We don't have to meet that. That's the only thing that frustrated me as being like an Afro-Latina is in both sense, like I'm black and I'm Hispanic, and like this is me and my authentic self, like accept it. And I hate how culture subconsciously makes you think you have to. No, you don't. Be yourself.
Like even like with you straightening up your hair for an interview, I remember in college, I was an RA in college, so like we were eating a con, if you know, you know, and this girl called her RA, so like we were all eating, and she was like, hey, so I have an interview, I just wanted to know, like, do you think I should straighten my hair? And I was like, what did she just say? It's just so crazy that as a black person, these are things that you think about. I'm pretty sure I was gonna say Rose, but your name is Beverly Rose, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm pretty sure Bethany doesn't wake up and think, do I have to straighten up my hair? It's either I put it in a bun or I let it loose. But it's like,
But that's her hair, and she does what she wants with it.
exactly. But it's just
That's
like,
the standard. That's the standard.
standard of beauty.
Mhm.
Her
Her
standard
Straight
is her at her
perfect hair.
natural state. And that's what frustrates me.
Why do we have to change ourselves to meet her natural state?
Yeah, I'm
This
never
is
going
crazy.
to achieve that because
Mhm.
that's not who I am, and I'm never going to be that.
And I don't want to.
Right.
I want to
I
be
like
me.
me.
Right.
I love me.
The
I know.
stereotypes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Vivi?
My frustrations, I was actually having this conversation with my boyfriend the other day, and he hates when so like, okay, if you get ready, like, throughout the day, you're about to go somewhere, and you'd be like, okay, I feel like wearing this, and I'll put this on, and you know what, today I feel like looking good. What I do is sometimes I would, like, not wear heels, or wear, like, flats, or, like, take off a little bit of makeup, or not wear such a flashy shirt or something like that, just because I feel like I have to kind of, like, fit in with the standard, not look too, like, oh, she's standing out, or like, oh my gosh, like, this is too much. Like, I want to just look like, you know, chill, cool, not like, ooh, who's that?
Make all eyes on you. That's
Right,
why I step
right,
in the room.
right, like the attention. So he was saying that, like, he just hates when I do that. Like, he literally kind of yelled at me, and I was just like, I don't understand why you think, like, it's such a problem. Like, you just don't get it. Like, sometimes being a woman is, like, a little too much. Like, even going to the gym, you can barely wear, like, if you wanted to wear, like, whatever, crop top and da-da-da, you're gonna be stared at, harassed
Yeah.
the whole night.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, harassed the whole night. So it's like, I will cover myself because of things like that. And I'm like, I hate that. I wish I could just, put on whatever I feel like it and do what it do because I want to, not
Exactly.
because, oh, like, I might get harassed or da-da-da.
It's
So
crazy.
that's my biggest frustration, really.
Cause like that brings me back to like high school. I know, like, remember, like, in high school, it's even like with the cheerleading uniforms. Like, I felt like with the black girls, the black girls had to like always wear the sweatpants over, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
the white girls
Oh,
were
that's
able
so
to like
true.
wear their spandex
And that
and
was
walk around.
okay for them. That was
Yeah,
But,
I
like-
was on that team, and I remember that.
It's like our bodies are different, but it's just like why? So like we could wear the same shorts, like we could wear the same shorts, but I have hips and the booties, so
it looks
obviously
inappropriate.
it would look inappropriate because I'm showing my curves. It's not our fault she doesn't have curves.
I feel like, and that's such like that's imposing on me because this is the body I was born with. Maybe you should stop looking. Maybe
Right.
you should stop over
feeling
sexualizing me,
Mm-hmm.
and then we won't have a problem because I'm just being me, and you're looking at me sexualizing me, and all of a sudden it's inappropriate.
Because I have no bottom.
Yeah,
That's what you ought to do.
you need to take a chill pill.
Right.
So the next question is, did you have a male figure present in your life growing up? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, yes and no.
Yes or no? Or yes and no?
Yes and no is my answer.
Yes. Yes, I did. Okay. And so how has that shaped your fight for black men's life today?
So me, I wasn't raised with a father figure at all. We don't really speak. But that doesn't minimize my fight for the black man, or I don't have any resentment against him. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and that's not my problem. I turned out fine, and even better, because my mom taught me things probably you could have taught me, or you probably would have affected my life in a negative way if you stayed around. But it never changed the way I perceive men in any type of way, because all men are different. Not every man is a deadbeat dad or F-boy or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said about sometimes people whose parents are not in their lives, it might be for the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes.
You don't know what that man is.
You don't know what that person's going through. And we know definitely your parents have a large influence on who you are. So maybe they needed to be away. And a lot of times when they're away, it's for a reason that was come to the conclusion, maybe your mother or your father. Yeah, I just thought about that when you said that.
And a lot of like, I do see like a lot of women when they don't have a father figure, they have like daddy issues and like they cling on to really negative men or just like oh F men. I see that a lot too, but it's just the way you take it and interpret it, and don't let this negative person affect your life. But everyone's different, so I can't speak for everyone,
Right.
and that probably hurt a lot of people.
I say yes and no for me because my dad wasn't always physically present, but he was always mentally and emotionally present for me through the phone and through visiting often. So I lived with my mom, did not live with my dad, always knew my dad loved me. I felt that, and you know, things just were what they were for my family. But I mean, my dad's very present in my life now, and I really appreciate his presence in my life. And you know, yeah, in regards to my fight for black men, I have brothers. I have 2 brothers, and so don't come for black men because you come for them, you come for me.
Great. So I answered yes. I do have a male figure present in my life, and he's been there my whole life, and I really definitely appreciate it. Although I don't necessarily always understand some of the things and like situational things that happen, I definitely do try to look at the brighter side and appreciate things, although like we're not always on the same page or whatever, because he is foreign, so things are definitely like so much different. His like expectations and stuff, but I definitely appreciate everything he has done, because he's definitely been through a lot, and like the lessons he puts on like his kids. So I definitely really appreciate all that he is, and it shaped my fight for Black Lives Matter today, because I don't know, like black men are they're so powerful. As women, we're so powerful. Men are powerful as well. So we're definitely a unit. So if people are coming for black men, they're coming for black women. They're coming for women. They're coming for men in general. So I have a brother. I have a boyfriend. So it's like all the males in my life are mostly black. So if you're coming for them, come for me, just like you said.
For sure. And like for me, I had a lot. Like I grew up in a household with like a lot of like testosterone. So it's just like even being the woman that I am today, like I get that like, why you're so aggressive? It's like, listen, I had to fight all my life. I had to fight like all my life. Like so it's just like I have male cousins. I have like everything. I have brothers. So it's just like, and as I said, like I'm a daddy's girl. So it's just like when it comes to black men, I don't play. Like even if it wasn't for Black Lives Matter, even if it wasn't for any of that, I still will vouch and I still fight for black men regardless, because it's like you talking about them, you touching them, it's affected me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like even now, like even if I look at my friends, I have a lot of males in my friend group, like, and that's what it is, and I'll go up and down for any one of them, and they know that. So yes, so definitely. But I don't really think, I feel like regardless of if I grew up in a house with like more women, I don't think that would have changed me anyways.
Yeah.
But
I think I agree.
it's just that the fact that I'm in it, so it's like, I say this in all the time, like I love seeing like black men in love, or like even like black love to me is just so beautiful. Like, cause I believe that like black love is so warm and so intense, just for the fact that as a black person, there's so many layers you have to go through, like before you love yourself. And so when you love yourself and you empower yourself, when you project that love to somebody else, it's just like, wow, it's so beautiful. Right? It's like so warm. So like when I see black love on my tea, I'm just like,
And that's what's not really portrayed like on TV or in the media really. I feel like now it's starting to be, but it's definitely not portrayed, so people probably, I don't know if you're younger, so
love is real. It's something that exists, and it's something that we need to acknowledge because it's real.
They always try to portray like, oh, just a single mom with a whole bunch of kids and the dad's in prison or something like that. It's like most of the time it's not like that. Like most of the time people have their mom and dad.
Yeah.
People do.
And even then, there's still love there. You know,
Right.
when they portray that, they don't portray the positive
Yeah,
side.
like domestic abuse.
Right. There's definitely still love there, and that's the main, the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my next question is, are Black women responsible for, so with that question, I'm just playing devil's advocate and playing the part with Black men don't support Black women like they're supposed to. So my question is, are Black women responsible for the treatment they receive from Black men? Like with that successes behind your head, like the whole, even with like the Black Lives Matter movement, there's a lot of things that like, oh, Breonna didn't receive the justice she deserved
Or like the
because
next
that.
stallion thing.
Yes, like support Black women.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like celebrity shit, it's just, I don't, like people were asking me, are you gonna talk about? No, because listen, to me, I wasn't there. The media lies a lot. There's always she said, he said, they said, and that whole thing is just fishy to me. So just like, I don't even want to speak on it for someone to take my words and be like, yo, SikaaTalks was over there talking about that. But no, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But even with that sense, it's just like, how, because, so like, how do you think Black women are enabling men to treat Black women a certain way, if they are, if you believe that they are? So like with me, thinking about it, it's just, that whole, to me, it's like, it starts at home. Like, when we look at Black mothers and their Black sons and their Black daughters, growing up in the, as I say, I grew up in a house with a lot of testosterone, and it's just like, they are always given like a leeway to do whatever they want. And as the girl, it's like, no, you can't go out, but why can't I go? He's going out. And it's like, he's even younger than me, so why can't he go out and I can't? It's like, you're a woman, you're supposed to stay here, help with the kitchen, do that. And it's just like, it's like Black mothers, like, really like cocoon their sons to a like level that like, oh, boys will always be boys. So it's like, it's okay if he does something, it's okay. But like as the daughter, when you're doing something, it's just like, you should have known better. How dare you? And it's like that all goes into what Black man as a man, what he would turn out to. He would turn out to be like, if my mom didn't do anything, why can't I do anything to you? Like you should be able to take it and not say shit because my mom made me do it. Who are you?
But I'm not your mother.
No, I can raise you.
Not your mother.
Yes. So like with that notion, like, what do you think is an enabling type of part like from us women and how we treat Black men?
I'm just gonna go. So like I said, I have brothers. I'm the only girl, and I definitely felt like growing up that I was held to not like held to a higher standard, but I had to do. Yeah, maybe I was held like to a higher standard. My brothers could do essentially more of the things that they wanted to do. They weren't. They got to do whatever they wanted to do, and they just got a lot of love and nurturing. Whereas I did get some love and nurturing, but not as much as them. I got more direction and more like, you need to do this, this, and this. And why didn't you do this? That's not like you. And it's like, okay, well, there's never really a time for me to like breathe. But I have to say that ultimately, I'm happy with the way things turned out with me in that. But more to answer to your question, I definitely see that. Just like dating, like a lot of these men really think that you are supposed to be their mothers, or that, there is not a lot of reciprocation between, caring and nurturing and what have you. I'm glad now that I have a boyfriend who is giving me that. It's very new, and so it's like, oh my gosh, like this is great. This actually exists. But prior to that, when I was dating, I was just like, how many men out here really think that I'm just at their service?
Right. True.
I wasn't raised with any males. Like, I have a sister and I have my mom, so I don't know what a male figure is around me or any male energy. But my mom, she's very she's strong. So she was raised by a really nasty stepdad, so she never allowed us to have a stepdad. So I was raised on that you take no shit, period, from any man. Like, she never raised me hating men, but she raised me like, you're a strong woman, don't let anybody take advantage of you, don't let, period. So that's how I was raised. So when I see a man like trying to get one over on me, or like me being their mom, or like me telling you what to do, like, bro, I'm not your mom. I have no patience, I have no tolerance, like my boyfriend knows, like I have no time for this. Either you get it right or you gotta go. And to answer the question, we're not at fault of your feelings and the way you were raised to think that it's our fault for the way we're treated. Like, we're women, we have to be respected too. Just the same way you're respected, I need respect too. And that's it. We're not at fault for the way other people treat us. And I feel like we're getting into that generation where now we're gonna raise men one day, or women, and we're gonna raise men that know we respect women, all women. And this is how it is. Like, you need to fend for yourself. You can do your laundry, do the dishes, like. Yeah. So I'm very proud of, like, I'm happy I was raised with no dad, because I can stick up for myself and no man's gonna take one over on me. Period.
I don't feel like Black women are responsible for the treatment they receive. Is it from men or just in general?
Like, from men, from like black men. Because like there was a lot of talk like black men don't support black women, or even like if black men support black women, it's only to like an extent where they benefit too. Like when it's like they have to put their full force behind us, when they just have to just support and knowing that they're fighting for something without gaining anything back, they don't really do that. Like, it's always something has to be attached to it for them to fight for us. Kind of.
So yeah, I definitely don't think we're responsible for that. It's just kind of like, if they, I feel like if men like agree with what a woman is doing, that's when they would support it and like support them and fight for them. But if they don't agree, of course they would be like, oh, like, you know, kind of like how it's portrayed on the media. And I just feel like it's also the way they grew up and their upbringing. Like, if they have a lot of women in their lives and they know, or like they kind of understand women, they would be a little bit better in the treatment. But I feel like if they don't understand that part, then that's where it comes like they're not supporting us and they're just neglecting us. They're putting us down.
So like a good example would be like with the WAP video. Most of the backlash that was on the media was coming from black men. You didn't see any white person, because it's just like, I'm thinking about white artists like Katy Perry, and it's like she had this video, it was really weird, but I didn't see any white men in the comments talking about why she doing this, why she gotta do that, what like there's kids watching. But like with the WAP video, there's black men that took their time to do review videos and post them on YouTube talking about why is she doing that? Why black women always portraying themselves doing that, and you want to be wifed up? Da, da, da. It's just like,
Are these the same men that like create music videos with a bunch of women
Sexualizing
And do
women,
the same.
the same exact thing.
but when it's like, when we
women-
empower
Our
ourselves.
sexuality, which
To do
is
that
it's
is wrong.
natural.
Yeah.